The Gaza horror they don't want you to see. Welcome back to the House of Informations. In a war zone where chaos reigns and truth is buried under rubble, one heart-wrenching image cuts through the noise of man, mortally wounded, stretching out his hand to touch his toddler daughter as they both lie dying in the streets of Gaza. For months, no one knew who they were. No names, no headlines, no outrage. But here at the House of Informations, we refuse to let their story vanish like dust in the wind. We dug, we scoured social media, we tracked down survivors, and eventually we put names to the bodies. The father was Mohammed al-Dawi. The child beside him, his 2-year-old daughter, Leanne. Leanne wasn't a soldier. She wasn't a threat. She was just a baby. And tragically, she's one of 95 documented cases of children reportedly shot in the head or chest during Israel's assault on Gaza. Read that again, 95 children. Let that sink in. We didn't pull these numbers from thin air. These were painstakingly verified by journalists, human rights observers on the ground, and 30 medical professionals who witnessed the carnage firsthand. Most of these children were under 12. According to survivors and field reports, 57 were allegedly shot by the IDF. 2 were reportedly shot by Palestinians. And in 36 cases, the bullets came from somewhere, but no one's telling us from where. And still, the world scrolls past. So what really happened to Leanne? Her 12-year-old sister, Shad, remembers the nightmare vividly. Their family was fleeing relentless airstrikes, clinging to each other as they moved down a quiet street in Gaza City. That's when they saw a tank parked ominously at a junction ahead. Moments later, their father collapsed. Shot. Panic erupted. They tried to help, but had to flee. They never saw Leanne or Mohammed alive again. We later confirmed a satellite image taken 2 hours before the shooting. It showed tanks, armored vehicles, and makeshift military defenses in the exact area where Shad said it all happened. A fortified Israeli Defense Forces IDF position, right where the killing occurred. When we confronted the IDF with this evidence, their response, bureaucratic coldness, unintended erroneous harm may occur in the course of combat. That's it. As if a toddler bleeding out on the street is a clerical error. As if Leanne's death is just a footnote. They claim they'll examine the case. But forgive us for being skeptical. Then we spoke to Kay, an Israeli soldier who fought in Gaza in early 2024. He told us the orders were chilling anyone you see off the humanitarian road shoot. Shoot to kill. Let that sink in. This wasn't a rogue moment. It was an instruction. He added, if it's a woman or child, don't shoot, try to detain them. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid as if the issue isn't morality, but efficiency. Kay confessed that his unit killed unarmed civilians. 2 boys, barely into their teens, gunned down with no warning. When IDF soldiers were injured or killed, the retaliation was brutal and indiscriminate. Destroy everything. Kill everyone, he said. We asked him if there's accountability. His answer a flat no. Just silence, cover-ups, and mass destruction. We didn't stop there. We brought all this evidence to Professor Yangi Nadil, a respected expert in international law from Oxford. She carefully reviewed the findings. Her verdict, while it's hard to reach firm legal conclusions from a distance, this case was clear. The evidence points to serious violations of international law, potential war crimes, and yet no charges, no tribunal, no justice. Leanne's tiny body and her father's lay in the street for days. Their family, too terrified to return, had no idea their deaths were even filmed until we tracked them down over a year later. The footage had been out there, buried under the avalanche of breaking news and political spin, while their loved ones had no closure, no answers, not even the knowledge that their last moments had been captured. And still, the silence continues. Let's be absolutely clear, this is not about sides. It's about basic humanity. Children should never be targets. Civilians should not be caught in crosshairs. And the world should never, ever be allowed to look away. But time and time again, politicians dodge, governments deflect, and media outlets soften the blow. The deaths of innocent children are smoothed over with phrases like tragic but accidental, or worse, ignored entirely. Here at the House of Informations, we're not playing by their rules. We're asking the questions no one wants to hear. We're naming the names they hope you'll forget. This isn't just a tragedy. It's a scandal. And the world deserves to know the truth.